Good morning. Just ahead this hour, lots of people trying to get healthy in the new year, maybe lose a few pounds, and losing weight always starts with eating right foods. We're going to be talking about how to make sure you're picking the right foods on your next trip to the store.
Plus, a dad calling police on himself while he wanted them to witness him spanking his daughter.
Well, but first, to get ready to go back to Gotham, Julie Grant joins us with more on tonight's episode. Right, Julie?
Yes, we are ready, aren't we, Brad? Detective Gordon has a new assignment, and Oswald Cobblepot, a.k.a. the Penguin, continues building up his army in tonight's all-new episode. And the Penguin himself, Robin Lord Taylor, is live with us this morning. Hi, Robin.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey, oh, we're great. We hope you are too. Can you give us a preview of what we can expect for tonight?
Well, I guess, the thing I can say is that, this is sort of when, the Penguin really embraces his penguinness. I mean, he's establishing his crew in Gotham City and making his way towards, running the town. So yeah,
the Penguin is always up to something, isn't he, Robin? I mean, you really do a great job in this character. You've got it.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Well, how about this season? Can you tell us what the Penguin might be up to as the season progresses in Gotham City?
Sure. Well, the fun thing about this role, is that, well, everybody knows where he ends up, like he ends up as a big, crime boss in Gotham City, but we've never really seen how he gets there. And so it's actually really fun in this first season because he's still learning the ropes. And so, it's not just all success for him, you know what I mean? Like he's always 2 steps forward, 1 step back. He's making mistakes, and in a way it makes him more human, which is really fun for me to play. But yeah, you'll see a lot of him, he'll succeed, and he's crafty, and he's planning and making a lot of plots towards his own success, but some of them fail. So you'll see him, fall back on his rear, just like we all do in real life, which is a really fun thing to play.
Right. Yeah. Robin, what's your favorite part about playing the Penguin?
I love that he's so much smarter than I am. He's just, every time I read this script, well, no, every time I read this script, he's always like, he's not just 1 step ahead of the game, he's 5 steps ahead of the game. And it's nothing that I ever, I can't even anticipate what he's going to do next. So there's so many times when I'll get the script and I'll see what happens and I'll be like, what? Like throw it on the ground, and just, that's so exciting. That's the most fun thing to play for me.
Could you tell us about how you get into character, and particularly your hair and makeup, how you make that transformation? How long do you spend getting ready there doing that?
It takes about an hour and a half to go through the whole thing. I mean, naturally, I'm a blonde, so that's been a whole thing to get used to. I mean, in my dreams, I'm still blonde. You know what I mean?
Right.
So there's constant, re-dyeing of the hair and all of that. But on the actual days that I work, I go into the chair and we put on a prosthetic nose, and then they do a whole crazy treatment to my skin to make it look kind of, scaly and weird. They paint my teeth yellow. So words out to my dentist that I do take care of my teeth, I do brush, but yeah. So and then with the hair too, yeah, it's about like an hour and a half of stuff. But getting into character, it really helps. Like it helps me. It's like I'm stepping into the skin of this guy, and then on top of that, the amazing costumes. It makes my job so much easier. You know what I mean? Like I just feel like I'm just like becoming Oswald, which is really awesome.
How about walking like Oswald Cobblepot? Can you tell us about that and how you made that transformation last season?
Yeah, well, it was fun. Not fun, but I mean, it was a great acting lesson. Only because it wasn't just some affectation that we put on the character. Like he actually receives an injury from. Yes. Jada Pinkett Smith's character, Fish Mooney, and so it's an actual something that I could wrap my mind around as something a real painful thing that happened to him. But in terms of like working on it and not just that, just also remembering to do it, I actually put a bottle cap in my right shoe. So there's always just that little reminder of the pain that he has with every step that he makes, you know. So yeah, it's an old acting trick, but yeah, it works.
Well, whatever you're doing is working so well. You are just fabulous in that role, Robin, and we're so glad to get to talk with you this morning. Wishing you much more continued success.
That means so much. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Take care. And you can catch Robin Lord Taylor as the Penguin. Of course, the rest of the gang on Gotham tonight at 8 o'clock. The show will then be followed up by Sleepy Hollow at 9. And then, of course, you got to stay tuned for the Fox 8 10 o'clock news.
And a very good Monday morning to you. It's actually looking pretty good out there. All of that rain that we had from yesterday, all the clouds pretty much just burning on away. It's going to be a mostly sunny day out there today and tomorrow and the next day. Max Futurecast, give you an idea what I'm talking about there. Every now and again, there might be some very thin clouds that are going to be passing overhead as we go through the next couple of days. Now, Wednesday, we are expecting to see a cold front that's going to start pushing through, crossing over North Carolina. All that's going to do, maybe a cloud or two, but all that's going to do is just lower our temperatures as we head on through the week. Quite amazing, dramatic how it's going to be changing those temperatures. We've got 38 degrees right now in Troy, 41 degrees in Asheboro, 40 in Greensboro. There's 40 degrees being reported out of Martinsville just now. We've got 39 in Mount Airy, 28 in Jefferson, 27 in Boone, 37 in North Wilkesboro currently. And eventually we're going to be seeing this cold weather that's up here to our northwest start making its way on across North Carolina. That is what's coming on Wednesday. Here's what it does to our 7-day forecast. The high today, 46, tomorrow 50. Wednesday, the high only 38 degrees. On Thursday, 28 degrees for the high. Overnight low temperatures dropping well down into the teens. It's going to be one of those nights where you need to make sure you leave the water running in the sink and in the bathroom, and maybe open up the kitchen cabinets to make sure the heat gets onto the pipes. Make sure your pets have somewhere warm to sleep.
No snow in the forecast, but you know kids love to spend a snow day by going sledding. Some cities trying to restrict where kids can sled. City officials in Dubuque, Iowa now considering a ban on sledding in nearly all of the city's parks. Lawmakers say it's too risky, could result in large liability claims. Dubuque isn't alone. Des Moines, Iowa, Lincoln, Nebraska, Columbia City, Indiana, just some of the other cities that have passed bans on sledding on city property. I know when I used to go sledding, it was on a city-owned golf course.
Yeah.
Sorry, probably should have been doing that, but you know, we did.
Yeah, I mean, if you live within city limits, there are very few places, you know, probably you can go.
You don't have yards that are really big enough anymore, so a lot of times those big slopes or the big stuff tends to be something the city owns.
I know, well, why ban it when you can, you know?
Well, I guess they're worried about the whole lawsuit thing, but still.
Let them sign a waiver, something.
You're in charge of that.
Hey, folks in one state are banning something else. How about hoodies? A politician in Oklahoma wants to ban people from wearing hoodies, covering their faces in public. There are already laws in Oklahoma saying people can't wear the hoodies during a crime. A proposal to amend the law could make it illegal to hide your identity in public, period. If you wear a hoodie anyway, it would cost people $500. Those who are required to cover their faces for medical or religious reasons would be exempt from the law.
Now, I can see the mask part, but just the hood part, I mean, how do you differentiate between a winter jacket and a sweatshirt kind of hoodie, you know?
To me, it just seems kind of interesting that they say you can't wear a hoodie during the commission of a crime. Well, you know, hello.
I think it's probably
the crime that's illegal.
Well, it's the same idea of putting a drug tax. You're not supposed to have drugs, but when you get arrested, it's an additional charge that they can put on there. But I just think it's hard to differentiate what's a hoodie anymore because so many jackets have that, especially wintertime. Probably the wrong time to be talking about that.
Agreed.
We'll see. Hey, you got your chicken, you got your mashed potatoes, and your beer. Would the Colonel have done this? KFC applying for a liquor license in Australia. The company wants to refresh its image and apply to a kind of appeal to a trendy crowd. Critics say fast food restaurants becoming involved in the beer business is normalizing alcohol for kids. They don't like the idea. McDonald's, by the way, opened a hipster cafe where beer is sold just last year.
Okay, sometimes you may eat just a little too much. Maybe you have to loosen your belt when you're eating. Not anymore. Check out this device. It's called a Belty, and it debuted at the Consumer Electronics Show, which starts today in Las Vegas. Tiny little motors help the belt to expand as you eat. Then when you're exercising, it will retract. The belt also keeps track of your activity. It'll give you a little nudge when it says you've been sitting too long, make you a little more active. No word on how much it will cost you, though.
I don't like it. I don't like the idea.
You don't like it?
No. I don't like anything with a motor loosening or tightening.
What happens if the motor goes wacko?
I was about to say, all of a sudden, then goes the other way and your pants
Holy cow.
fall down or something like that. I don't know. Mayhem, that's what could happen.
There you
Hey,
go.
big weekend for the Carolina Panthers. Arizona Cardinals in town for the wild card game.
And before the kickoff, you have to have the national anthem, right?
See that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land.
Everyone was talking about this. Brian McKnight's performance before Saturday's NFC wildcard game between the Arizona Cardinals and the Carolina Panthers. McKnight sang his heart out. It was beautiful, and social media went wild. In fact, shortly after he finished, Brian McKnight became the top trending topic in the United States. How about that?
Hey, the Panthers went on to win the game 27-16. After the game, the players, yeah, they had a lot to celebrate. They went back on the field to thank the fans, to celebrate with them, and thank them for their support. Next up, they got to head off to Seattle to take on the Seahawks. Those teams met back October 26th in Charlotte. Seattle pulled off a 13-9 victory in that game. We'll see if a few months will make a difference this go-round. You can catch Saturday's game right here on Fox 8. Our coverage starts at 7:30. Kickoff is scheduled for Saturday night at 8:15. Once again, right here on Fox 8.
Yeah.
It's going to get really cold this week, so most people will be turning up the heat.
But get this, could staying warm mean fading looks for you? Coming up, why researchers say central heat could mean spending more on your hair and nails. And it's time to spend with your new husband or wife, spend a little more time, but now some people are choosing to go alone. After 9:45, something called a solo honeymoon.